Good morning, everybody. We're going to start our daily rigors on our videos. So today we are doing daily rigor 9, and we're going to go over C first. So I'll go over C, and then I'll call up somebody to go over the next one, okay? So we've been talking about perpendicular. It says circle the lines that appear to be perpendicular to line ST. So first I need to figure out where line ST is. So here's S and here's T. So this is the line. Show me what perpendicular looks like with your arms. Show me, everybody. It's got to be perfectly like a plus sign. Okay, this is not perpendicular. This is called intersecting. Perpendicular, okay? It's got to be an exact 90-degree angle. And if you look at our word wall card, it shows like an upside down T. Okay, perpendicular does not mean it has to cross. It can, but it doesn't have to, okay? It has to have an exact 90-degree angle though. Okay, so if we're looking at our choices up here, which one is perpendicular? Dante?
The line that is going up.
This one. Okay, what is this one? Intersecting, okay? So sometimes they can be intersecting and perpendicular. Like if this one had kept going, that would be intersecting and perpendicular. But just intersecting, like this one, is not perpendicular. Okay? Any questions about that one? All right, my helper of the day, Alex. Why don't you come do A for us? So it says shade each model, find each difference. You need a stool? Remember we do our UPS check first. So what's important in that question? Understand. I don't see that word. Difference. What does difference mean? Subtract. Very good, Bobby. All right, I think you're ready now. Okay, can you shade the models to make them look like that?
Okay, so
They don't have to be perfect. Just scribble it in. How many should this one show?
6.
That's a 6. What is this?
8.
8. So shade in 8. That's part of the problem, okay? So if you didn't shade yours in, make sure you do that now. Okay, so you got 4. Not working either. 7, 8. Good. Hold on. 8. There you go. Erase that one. Now, how much for the next one?
This
1, 2. Good. How much for the answer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good. All right, I'll show you these next ones for you. Can you read us the sentence?
8 10ths minus
Hold on. 8
tenths.
good minus
2 tenths.
good equals
6 tenths.
very good. All right, who do you want to go next?
Bobby.
All right, before Bobby comes up, let's all read these next two. So what is this one?
5 tenths minus 1 tenth equals 4 tenths.
Good.
1 tenth.
Oh, what is this?
1.
One, just one, because it's one whole. Okay, so 1.
1 minus 5 tenths equals 5 tenths.
Very good.
1 whole.
All right, Bobby. Here you go. Let's have you do. Let's do number 2. All right, while he starts working, I'll read it for you. Okay? The design for a stage is shown below. The perimeter of the stage is 120 meters. Then it has the shape. It says, what is the length of side R in meters? So what is important? What do we need to circle? What do we need to underline? Perimeter, good. 120 meters, yep. Length. Meters. What are we looking for?
Sidearm.
Good, so let's circle that. Very good. All right, so what are we gonna do, Bobby?
So I know there's 3 eighths on each side, so 6 times 8
Okay,
equals
good, 48.
and then I take it over here
Okay,
and I add it to 44.
very good. Good, now what?
So then I bring 120 down here minus 92.
Very good. Okay, are we all done? Thumbs up if you got what Bobby got. 28 meters. Chase, what'd you get? What'd you get? Okay, then I need you to show me a thumbs up. Very good, Bobby. That was awesome. All right, who do you want to go next?
Dante.
All right, Dante, come on. Let's do number 1. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and read it while he starts circling. Rosie created the table below to show the number of quarts that are equivalent to different numbers of gallons. Based on the information in the table, how many quarts are equivalent to 12 gallons? So while he's working, what does equivalent mean? Equal, right? The two sides are the same. I also want to talk about a table. Okay, so this one has a table in it, right? So a table just has some kind of information, and then it shows you the number of each thing that it has. So for this one, it has gallons and quarts, and they're equal, shows what they're equal to. Anything else he needs to circle or underline? Did he get all the important stuff? There you go. Don't forget this word. Good job. All right, what do we need to do now? What do you think, Dante? What is the question asking you? Okay, do we have 12 gallons up here? No, so maybe we draw us a 12 right here. Okay, we're gonna have to solve for the quarts, right? But before we can do that, we need to figure out how do we get from gallons to quarts? What are we doing to this one to get here? Adding? Okay, what do you think we're adding?
If you haven't done this one yet, you should be trying to figure out the
3
pattern in
times
this table,
3.
okay?
What's 3 times 3? Hmm?
This is like an
What's 3 times 3? 9. Okay, so that's not 12, so let's try something else. What's the rule? What do you think? Nicholas? 4 what? So 3 times 4 equals 12. Does that work?
Yes.
Okay, so let's try this one. 5 times 4. Is that 20?
Yes.
Okay, 9 times 4. Is that 36?
Yes.
Okay, so what would 12 times 4 be? 48. So fill it in. And which choice should you pick? Thumbs up if you got 48. Right, like Miss Taylor said, good job, Dante. Would you pick somebody? If you don't get it, if you didn't get that one done, when we're working it on the board, you need to be working it.
Emily.
We'll do one last one. Let's do number 4. All right. Albert's teacher has asked him to carry 20 fiction and 22 nonfiction books to the library. If he carries 7 books on each trip, how many trips will he make to the library? Don't forget to underline the question. All of it. How many trips will he make to the library? There we go. So what do you need to do first? We need to figure out how many books he's gonna have to carry, right? So what do I need to do to figure out how many books in all? Justin?
Add 22 and 20.
Add 22 and 20. That'll tell us how many books that he's got to carry, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what's 22 plus 20? 42. Good. Now how many is he going to carry on each trip? 7. So you guys don't know how to divide yet. So what else can you do?
Multiply.
Well, y'all know your basic, like you
Yeah.
should know this one.
No, we're dividing. So 42
You know your
and
times
7
tables.
trips. So yeah, what times 7 equals 42?
Her moment to shine.
If you didn't work it out yet, you should be working it out so you can see if you get the same thing she does. Okay, let's try it this way. We know who's gonna make 7 books on each trip, right? So let's see how many groups of 7 we can do. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's one group, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's 7 plus 7?
14.
Okay, let's do another one. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. You count.
3, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29,
28.
29, 30, 32, 33, 34, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42.
Okay, so how many groups are there?
6.
6. How many trips is he gonna make? 6. Very good.
I have erased before.
Yes, you can erase. Okay, we're gonna stop there for today. Go ahead and get ready for math so you can get out your math journal if you have one, and a whiteboard and a marker, colored pencils, all that good stuff.
All right, y'all, welcome back. We are going to do some more practice today with adding and subtracting decimals. We have this little poster that we're gonna glue in our journals, and I can post a picture of it on Google Classroom if you guys want it at home, if you wanted to print it out. And then we're also gonna talk about something new today, but I'll get to that in just a little bit. So let's get started. You should have your journal out. All right, so this little poster, we talked about adding, subtracting decimals last week, right? Hopefully we all remember that. Today we're gonna practice some more with that, and then we're gonna introduce a new vocabulary word where we're gonna get some more practice adding, subtracting decimals. So look at this little poster. This is just cute to help you kind of remember it. So we've got rule 1, line them up. Rule 2, drop it down. Rule 3, fill them in. And then rule 4, we're gonna add or subtract. So why don't we stand up? Everybody just stand up by your seat. And we're gonna make up movements for each step. Oh, I'm gonna let you guys think of the movements. Okay, so for this rule 1, for line them up, show me, what do you think that could look like if we're gonna do a movement? Show me, just do it, show me something. Who's got something? So just like line it up? Yeah. Okay, we could do it like that, like line it up, or you could go like line it up. Oh, maybe we should do our arms up, so it's like more dramatic, okay? All right, so we'll go line them up, and then we've got drop it down. We're here, what should drop it down look like? It's a little dramatic. Okay, I like Dante's. Dante isn't like flailing all over the floor. So we'll line them up, and we'll drop them down, okay? And squat down. Yeah, because I don't need you falling out like that. Okay, then rule 3 is fill them in. So what should we do next? We're here. We're not laying on the floor. What can we do for fill them in? Okay, so Bobby's doing the zeros like that. Because that's what we're filling it in with, right? Okay, so or that. You could do it like that. Okay, and maybe we do it like different spots because it could be in different spots. Okay, so we did drop it down, and then maybe like as we stand up, we could do fill it in. Oh, yeah. Okay. Because you might have zeros in different spots. Okay, and then last one is add or subtract. What's the easy way to show that? Add or subtract. Okay. Let's practice it. Let's do it all together, okay? So roll one, let's line them up. Let's drop it down. Let's fill them in. Let's add or subtract. What? Okay, you want to do it one more time? It's kind of fun. Let's do it one more time. Okay. Roll one. Line them up. Drop it down. Fill them in. Add or subtract. Oh, good job. That's neat. I hope you're doing it at home too. Line them up. Drop it all the way down. Fill them in. Add or subtract. All right, fine. Let's do, just to practice this, just to get refreshed, let's just start out with like a couple, just computation, and you can just write these in your journal, okay? So you put that little poster in, we could just do these right underneath. So let's just warm up with one addition and one subtraction, okay? So, and I'm gonna write it like horizontal to start with. So if I have 4 2/10 plus, say, 13 and 22 hundredths, okay? Let's try to write this properly, okay? So everybody's with me in your journal? We're writing, we have something to write with? So if you see a problem and it's written this way, they did that on purpose because they want to see if you know how to line up your numbers and work this out. And we know how to do that. So first we're going to line it up, so I have to rewrite it. So I would write 4 2/10. And remember, like, we're lining up the decimal, okay? You've got to go by the decimal to line it up. So I'm adding, and now I have 13 and 22 hundredths. So my decimals need to be perfect lined up, okay? So I've got 13 and 22 hundredths. Do I need to fill in any spots?
Yes.
Yeah, I sure do, okay? I could show that in a different color. You just have to make sure these are lined up and line up your numbers good, okay? And then I could put a 0 here, and I could put a 0 here. That's pretty light. Why don't y'all go ahead and add them up? Mathematician. Who else has it, Jordan? Good. Who else? What did you get, Kasasha? All right, Kasasha's got it. So when I add these up, I always start from the right side. 2 plus 0 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. And my decimal just comes straight down. 4 plus 3 is 7. And 0 plus 1 is 1. And that's it. Easy peasy. As long as you line up the decimal, you're going to be just fine. Let's do one subtraction, okay? To get our little brains fresh. Okay, same thing. I'm going to write it sideways so then you have to rewrite it. So let's do 38 and 1/10 minus 2 and 64 hundredths. So you're going to need to rewrite that up and down. Make sure it's lined up. You've got to line it up with that decimal. We need to fill in some spots, and then I'll come around and check and give a dojo point if you get it right. I'm gonna let you just work it out on your own. Make sure that yours is lined up like this, okay? And I'll come around and check. So at home, try to work this one out, and then we'll check and see if you got it right. Here. And we're raising our points this week too. Because Miss Ada and Miss Thompson, they're doing points as well. So, and now your goal is going to be 20.
What? Okay, that's too easy.
It's okay.
I'm not
Good job.
100. No, Justin almost had 30. Well, when we get to I got
Bigger number on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
38 should be. Okay, so how do we start tomorrow? Number one. First thing you're going to have to do is borrow. Yeah, because you can't do 0 minus 4, right? So you got to borrow from the 1. Did you get it? You have to borrow. 0 minus 4 is 4. All right, y'all. Look, we're gonna look at subtracting real quick. I'm seeing several people that are still confused about borrowing. If I have a 0 here, I can't do 0 minus 4 because 0 is smaller than 4, right? So I have to go over here and borrow. So this 1 turns to a 0. And now I put a little 1 in front of here. So now I have 10. Okay? Now I can subtract that. 10 minus 4 is what? 6. Okay, so now I look here. Well, here I have 0. I can't do 0 minus 6. So I just need to borrow again. Come over here. So the 8 turns into a 7. And I just throw a 1 in front of that 0. 10 minus 6 is 4. And I'm going to go ahead and put my decimal because that's the next thing I'm seeing. It's all lined up nice and neat. Go ahead and throw that in there. 7 minus 2 is what? 7 minus 2 is 5. And then 3 minus 0 is? 3. And so that's it. But if your number on top is smaller, you have to borrow, okay? I can't say, oh, 0 minus 4 is 4. Well, no, it's not. 0 minus 4 is negative 4, and we're not doing negatives here. You've got to borrow, okay? Lucky for you, we're going to get some more practice with that today. Okay, so with borrowing, we're going to be doing subtracting today. Okay, so new word for the day is profit. Okay, so profit, listen, profit is money that is made in a business after all costs and expenses are paid. So you can see the little graphic here. It's got all the little money signs on it. So it says income minus cost, or a lot of times we're going to say minus expenses, equals profit. So like I'll give an example. I like to It's like my husband, he paints, he does murals and stuff like that. So let's say he painted the Hornet up here at the front of the school. So, so let's say, okay, he gets hired to do a painting. They say, oh, we'll pay you $1,000 to paint this. Okay, cool. Does he need to buy anything to be able to paint? Just, what does he need to buy?
Paint.
Paint, right?
Paintbrush.
Anything else he might need? Maybe a paintbrush. He might need a little, okay, you said an apron. He also wears like a respirator, so he might need to get a new one. Sometimes you need to put new little filter pads in them. What else, Macy? Exactly, yeah, he always needs like, especially if it's inside a building, he needs like some plastic to like lay down on the floor so they don't get paint anywhere else. What else, Joy? He might need gloves. Sometimes he might need like painter's tape. What else? You thought of something else, Chase? A mask, yeah. So he's got expenses, right? He has certain expenses. Definitely every job he gets, he's going to have some paint. So if he's getting paid $1,000 for a job, is he making all that money? Does he get to keep the whole $1,000?
No.
He had to pay for the supplies, right? So the supplies, those are his expenses, or on here how it says cost. So those are the things that you have to pay for to actually make the job happen. And then what you have left over is your profit. So maybe they said, well, we're going to pay you $1,000 to paint this. Okay, he had to order $100 worth of paint. So then his profit would be how much? 900, okay? That's all this is. Justin, do you have a question?
My dad, he does boat rentals,
Mm-hmm.
and so he had to pay off the whole boat before he can actually like make money
Yeah,
from the profit.
exactly. Yeah. Well, I want us to think about, because there's a whole bunch of different ways to make profit, okay? So I want you to think for a minute, and we're going to do something called jot thoughts. Some of you may have done it before, maybe not. I'm going to give every table a little thing of Post-its. And what we're going to do is you're going to think of different ways that we could make profit, that somebody could make profit. Okay? So let's say I'm at this table. It starts with me. I have, where's the little Post-it? There's some in here. Let me get, okay. So I've got the little stack of Post-its, and only like one person at a time is going to be writing. So I've got the Post-its. I go first. Say, what's one way to make profit? I'm going to say mowing yards. And then I'm going to tear off my Post-it and just put it in the middle of the table, and I'm going to pass it to Bobby. And then he's going to write something different, take his off, and pass it. So that way we're all paying attention to what's being written down, because only one person at a time is writing, okay? And then it can go around the circle. It can keep going for as long as I give you guys, okay?
As long as
So think of what are some different ways that a person could make profit. Okay? So I already gave an example of like mowing yards. Justin said his dad rents out does boat rentals. I said like my husband does painting. Okay? So let's think about that. I'm going to give you guys like 3 minutes. Okay? So how about the person with the longest hair at your table goes first. So give them the package of, give them the little Post-its, okay? And at home, try to think of some different ways to make profit, and then we'll make a list up here in a minute. And Simone and Sean, y'all are both on here. So if you think of an idea, maybe just write it down and you can hold it up in a minute for us. Or you can put it in the chat, okay? Miss Robinson's on here, so you could send the chat to her. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'll give you guys 3 minutes. Ready, set, go. You just right away to make profit. Nope, one more, you go first. One way that somebody can. You can go ahead.
And that's fine, you don't have to write this down. Just pass it. Okay, it's fine, you don't have to write all this down, because it's just like a quick, a little font. Got like a little less than a minute, so let's see what else we can get. Is everybody on? All right, timer went off, so just finish writing down what you were thinking. We got some ideas online too. So Sean said about being a doctor and paying taxes. And then Simone said mowing lawns. Good job. All right, waterfall. Waterfall. Alex, pick one Post-it from your table and bring it to me. It doesn't matter, just one. Just bring it up here real quick. We're just going to share a few ideas. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Waterfall. We shouldn't all be talking. Okay, so he said mowing yards. Okay, we talked about that one. What was the one that you told me when I was over there?
Selling lemonade.
Yeah, you know, sometimes kids do lemonade stands. So if you sell lemonade, what do you have to buy? What are your expenses? Your expenses are, well, like the ingredients for the lemonade, ice, cups. Those would be your expenses, okay? So that would be what you would subtract out. All right, good job. Let's see, Dante, bring me a Post-it from your table. Honestly, selling anything would be a way to make profit. Because anything that you sell, you're gonna have to pay for something to be able to sell. Okay, so Dante said doing chores. That's a good one. What could be an expense that you would have with chores? Buying a mop. There you go. Buying that pine saw to put on the floor. You're fabuloso. Okay, so yeah, any of your cleaning supplies. Good. Scout, bring me a Post-it from your table. Come on, bring me a Post-it. Gotta get on it, y'all. Waterfall. I'm about to take a point away from the whole class because you guys are talking so much. He said, making cars. Well, you're real smart if you can make a car. But I mean, definitely if you're, or even if you're repairing cars, you would need to buy the parts and all of that. So yeah, so you would definitely have expenses with that. And then let me see, Jamie, and bring me a Post-it from your table. What you got? What you got? What you got? So he said, selling new books for people. So if you want to sell books, or even if you wanted to sell used books, you would still have to buy the books. So maybe you like would go to thrift stores and buy books for really cheap, and then you would resell them or something. Or maybe you made your own books, but you would need supplies to make the books. Sasha, please sit down. All right, thank you. You can go have a seat. Waterfall. Everybody loses a point. And that is what we have to do because you guys won't stop talking and time is a ticking and we have things to do, okay? So it's not talk in between every single person that comes up or every single thing that I talk about. You have to pay attention. So all of these are different ways to make profit. We actually just need to go ahead and get to our practice. We're going to look at a few problems in our Ford and Ferrier book. So let's get that out. It's your white one, this white and pink. So grab that out of your book bin. And at home, I'm just going to put some questions underneath the Elmo camera. So I want you guys to turn to 336, and we're going to go through a couple problems together. So this is page 336. We're at the back of the book. 336. See if y'all can see that at home. It's a little bit light. Well, 336. Good. You guys are all there. You guys are there. All right. Jorian, will you read this problem for us? We're going to work through this problem together. So as he reads it, let's circle our keywords and all of that good stuff. All right, go ahead.
Lisa made a donation.
What? Decorated.
Decorated book covers for the textbook. It cost her $8.37.
73 cents.
To make a set of book covers. She sold the book covers for $16.25. What was Lisa's profit?
Okay, so notice as we're going through, I'm circling those key things and I've underlined my question, and everybody should have done that while we were doing it. And the first two books I walked up to, y'all didn't do that. We have got to get focused and pay attention so we can work through these together. This isn't just hang out and watch what's going on. You need to participate. Do you have a question?
Yes.
What's up? Okay, you should definitely have it in your book. Just help her, Dante. Okay. All right. So here, remember, for profit, it's income minus cost equals profit, okay? So what was her income?
$16.
What was her income? How much did she make from selling them?
$16.25.
Yeah, because remember your income, and look at the little poster. Income is money coming in. Incoming money, money coming in. So the money that she got was $16.25. So I'm going to write that. And then I need to subtract my expenses or my cost. What were her expenses? How much did it cost her to make them?
$8.77.
Yeah, it tells you right there. So I need to subtract that. $8.73.
And once I subtract those, I'll get my profit. So try to subtract those. And at home, try to subtract it, and then we'll check it. And I'll give a dojo point if you get it right. Are you done, Chase? Then you should get to work. You don't even have a decimal point ready. Why are you raising it? Yeah, you need to make sure your things are behind it. Yep. Okay. All right, I'm seeing some good work. Did y'all get it at home? Did you guys figure it out? Let's see. Good. Oh, Simone, I see yours in the chat. All right. Alex, what did you get for your answer? $7.52. That's what we should have got, okay? Let me show real quick if you didn't get it done. 5 minus 3 is 2. And now I can't do 2 minus 7 because 2 is smaller than 7. So I'm going to borrow from the 6. It turns into a 5. And I put a 1 here. So 12 minus 7 is 5. And I just bring my decimal down. And then I can't do 5 minus 8 because 5 is smaller than 8. Borrow again. So it's 15 minus 8. 7. And that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. We're going to do 2 more little practices, okay? So we're kind of skipping around in our book. The next one is on page, flip on over to page 342. 342.
Remember that you don't need to be talking.
342. Thumbs up when you're there. Miss Emily, will you read the problem for us?
Bruce runs a laundry mat. It cost him $18.95 to wash, dry, and fold a load of laundry. The money he received this service is $27.60. What is Lewis's profit to wash, dry, and fold a load of laundry?
Good deal. Thank you. And so notice I'm circling these keywords. Cost, that's money going out, what it cost him. Those are his expenses. Receives, if I receive money, that's my income. And we want to figure out the profit. All right, so first I need to do my income, because it's income minus cost. So Macy, what's his income? The money he receives is how much? Yeah, so $27.60. So let's write that. So here it doesn't say his income is, it says he receives. So you need to know that money income, that means money you receive, money you get, money that comes to you. All right, let's see, what is our costs or our expenses? Let's see, Jaylene, what are the expenses? How much does it cost him? It cost him $18.95. It's looking like his profit might not be that fantastic. So we need to subtract this number, $18.95, to get our profit. So you guys subtract that, and again, I'll give points. At home, you can subtract and you can just type your answer into the chat. Seeing some good work and some neat work too. Just lining all of those numbers up, making it look nice. It's going to be helpful for sure. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Good deal. Remember, like, your rules of borrowing. Gina, what are you doing right now? Borrow, now you're going to start what? 5 minus? 5 is on the bottom. 10 minus 5. And then what do you get? That is correcto. Who are you getting? Yeah. Okay. At home, did y'all get it? Y'all both got it? Good job. All right. Look up here. If you didn't get it, please look up here and do it with me, okay? So Scout, look up here, okay? Chase, look up here. It's so important for your work to be neat too, because some of you boys, it's usually boys that have some sloppy handwriting. Some of y'all's work looks fantastic, but just make sure with decimals you really need to line up your numbers, okay? So I can't do 0 minus 5, so I have to borrow. My 6 turns into a 5, and I put a 1 here. 10 minus 5 is what? Now same, I can't do 5 minus 9, I'm gonna borrow again. 7 turns to 6, I put a 1 here. What's 15 minus 9?
6.
It is 6. Next is my little decimal, just go ahead and throw that in there. I can't do 6 minus 8, so I'm gonna borrow. They really were seeing if you knew how to borrow on this one. What's 16 minus 8?
8.
8. And then 1 minus 1 is 0. So he, poor little fella, he only made $8.65. It's not too great. You know, maybe he'll come up with a better business plan later. Y'all, we're gonna do one more example. It's already intervention time, so
So we're gonna do one more, and this one's a little bit harder. Not really hard, there's just a little bit more steps. So we are flipping, where was it? Oh, it's right here. Okay. I was like, no, I highlighted it. This is on page 345. Get all this along here. This is a big one. This one takes up the whole page. So 345, okay? Notice on this one we have a table. Got a lot more numbers going on, okay? All right, Bobby, why don't you read it for us? And I'm going to be circling keywords and all that good stuff as we go along. Go ahead.
Billy and Rose are running a lemonade stand at the corner of the street. The price for the items they buy to make and serve lemonade is shown in the table below. The items Billy and Rose purchased are enough to make 150 cups of lemonade. If they sell 150 cups of lemonade for $1 each, how much profit in dollars and cents will they make?
Okay, so this has a little bit more to it. I'm underlining my question. If they sell 150 cups of lemonade for $1 each, how much profit in dollars and cents will they make? Okay, so are we still looking for profit?
Yes.
Yeah, so the question has us looking for profit, but there's just more steps in this one. Does it tell us what their income is? Kind of. It gives us what we need to figure it out. So income is how much money they would make from selling their lemonade. So it says if they sell 150 cups, for how much?
$1.
So each cup is just $1. That keyword each, that tells me I need to multiply. So I have 150 cups times $1. That's pretty simple, right? What does that equal? 150, okay? So their income would be $150, all right? So that was our first step, to figure out what is their income before I can do the rest, okay? So their income would be $150. I'm gonna come over here and write it. So $150. And I'm gonna go ahead and put a decimal with the 0 cents behind it. And next, I need to know, what is their cost? What are their expenses? Does it tell me how much their expenses are?
Yes. But it doesn't tell you the total amount.
So it tells me, all, like how we were listing things that you would need for a lemonade stand. We were talking about that. It tells me all of the things, but it doesn't tell me the total. So what do I need to do?
Add them all up.
I need to add them all up. So let's do that together. This is some good practice for you. All right, so I'm gonna just start at the top, $4.25. I'm gonna mark through it, so just keep track of what I'm doing. I'm gonna add $6.25. So let's do that one first. 5 plus 5 is
10.
and I'll carry my 1. And I've got 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5. Put my decimal. And 6 plus 4 equals 10. Okay, now I'm going to add on this $12.75. And I'm just like adding on to what my last total was. So 5 plus 0 is 5. And then 7 plus 5 equals 12. I'm going to carry that 1. Don't forget about the little decimal point. Just bring that down.
And then 10 plus 2 equals,
3.
or not 10 plus 2. 2 plus 1 is what? 3. And then I've got 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, just a few more numbers to add on. Now we're going to add on the $2.50. Make sure everybody's keeping up. Keep going. I just want to make sure everybody's getting it. We're in on 40. You can close that into your journal. All right, so for $23.25 plus $2.50, what do I get from this? What's my total from this? Jorian?
$31.95.
Wait, from just these two.
Ah,
What did you get after you added these? Anybody? Just say it.
$25.75.
Good. So 5, 7. $25.75. Now I need to add on $1.25. I'm not going to write through my problem, so I'm going to come up here and do that. $1.25. And what's kind of neat about all these numbers too is that they're all increments of 25. It's like quarters. So if you know 25, 50, 75, $1, it would be pretty easy to add these up. So 5 plus 5 is what, y'all? 10. Carry the 1. 7 plus 1 plus 2 is?
Wait. 11. Wait.
7 plus 1 plus 2 is 10. And then carry the 1. Got my decimal point. What's 5 plus 1 plus 1?
7.
7. And then just bring down the 2. Okay, now my last one to add on is $5. Well, that's pretty easy to just add up. Has anybody done this? What do I get?
$32.
I get $32 even. Okay, so look at, we had to do all of this just to know our expenses. And I chose this problem for you guys because when you have your unit test, that's what they're going to do to you. They're not just going to say, here's the expenses. No. They're going to say, oh, so-and-so had to buy this and this and this and this and this. And you figure out the expenses. So this is why I say it's so important to keep everything lined up and neat. Because if I got this all jumbled up, then I'm done from the get-go. I'm not going to get the problem right. And notice also, do they give you answer choices?
No.
Nope, you got a bubble in your own. So you've got to just make sure and do your work neat. And I am seeing a lot of neat work, but like I can't stress it enough to keep those things lined up and make sure that you're showing your work, carrying, borrowing, all that good stuff. Okay, so now I know my expenses and I know my income, so let's subtract that. So I've got $150 minus this 32, okay? And let's just do this together. You got it down, Bobby? Get your head in the game. This is the last thing we're
Yeah,
doing.
I got all
This,
that. Oh, good, I already have it.
and this one's not too bad. We don't have any change. So 0 minus 0 is 0. And again, 0 minus 0, 0. Draw my decimal point. And I cannot do 0 minus 2. So I need to do what? I need to borrow. So 5 turns into a
4.
and 4 minus 3 equals, oh no, sorry. We're gonna do this, 10 minus 2 equals
8.
8. Now I come over here, 4 minus 3, I don't have to borrow, 4 minus 3 is 1. And then I just have my little 1 to bring down. So their profit is $118. These girls did a lot better than the laundry boy on the last one. And since we're on this page, I want to show you how to grid it into, okay? So my answer is $118. And with these little griddable questions, you also have to pay attention to what you're doing. Just be careful with it. So this is what they give you to do your answer on. So we've done all this hard work, but if I bubble this in wrong, then my whole question's wrong. Because this is what we see people do. 118. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
No, what does this say?
$1.
Exactly, okay? So if I did that, then I did all that hard work for nothing. I just got the whole thing wrong. So I've got $118. So 118, then a decimal point and 2 zeros. So I would do 118 and then 2 zeros. 1, 1, 8. But you have to, this is new this year because you didn't do decimals last year. So when you have these griddable questions, you have got to pay attention to where the decimal is, okay? Yeah, like you had a grid, but you didn't have a decimal in there because on this you might think, oh, well, there's no change. It's just zeros over here. So I just do 118, but then that would be incorrecto. So you just have to be careful with it, okay? All right, my friends online, you're gonna go back to our virtual classroom and work on, you'll have a quizzes to do, and just finish your things for the rest of the day, and we will see you tomorrow. It's good to see some faces on here today. Bye, y'all.